In the remote Bavarian countryside of Germany, about 43 miles north of Munich, stood the Hinterkaifeck farm. Isolated and surrounded by thick forests, it was the perfect setting for an unspeakable crime, a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. The story begins in March 1922, when the Gruber family, Andreas Gruber, his wife Cecilia, their widowed daughter Victoria Gabriel, and Victoria's two children, 7-year-old Cecilia and 2-year-old Joseph, were joined by a new maid, Maria Baumgartner. Maria had just arrived at the farm, reportedly nervous about working in such a secluded place. Little did she know, her fears would soon prove tragically justified. In the weeks leading up to the murders, Andreas Gruber began noticing strange and unsettling signs around the farm. He discovered footprints in the snow leading to the house, but none leading away. On another occasion, he found an unfamiliar newspaper in the house, even though no one in the family had purchased it. The family also heard mysterious footsteps in the attic at night. Andreas searched, but found nothing. Despite these ominous warnings, the Grubers stayed on the farm, dismissing the events as odd but not alarming. Victoria, however, was reportedly so frightened that she told neighbors about her concerns. Sadly, no help came. Even the newly hired maid, Maria Baumgartner, had expressed unease about taking the job. The farm's eerie reputation preceded it, and the unsettling occurrences likely deepened her anxiety. But life went on, and no one could have anticipated the horror that lay ahead. On the evening of March 31, 1922, darkness fell over the Hinterkaifeck farm. What exactly happened that night remains a mystery, but investigators believe that the killer lured family members one by one into the barn. Andreas, Cecilia, Victoria, and young Cecilia were brutally attacked with a mattock, a sharp farming tool. The bodies were left in the barn, covered with hay. Inside the farmhouse, 2-year-old Joseph and Maria Baumgartner were also killed. Maria, the maid, had only been on the farm for a matter of hours before meeting her tragic fate. What makes this crime even more chilling is what happened after the murders. The killer didn't flee the scene. Instead, they stayed at the farm for several days, eating meals, feeding the livestock, and even lighting fires in the hearth. Smoke was seen rising from the chimney, leading neighbors to believe everything was normal. On April 4th, concerned neighbors arrived at the farm after the Grubers failed to show up for church or school. What they found would haunt them forever. Inside the barn, they discovered the bodies of Andreas, his wife Victoria, and little Cecilia stacked beneath hay. Inside the house, Joseph and Maria were found lifeless in their rooms. The scene was chaotic and gruesome. It was clear that the murders had been carried out with shocking brutality. Yet, despite the horror of the crime, the livestock were well fed, and the house appeared lived in, as if the killer had made themselves at home. The investigation began, but it was plagued with challenges. The crime scene had been contaminated by curious villagers who trampled through the barn and house. Forensic science in the 1920s was rudimentary at best, and the lack of solid evidence left investigators grasping at straws. Over 100 suspects were questioned, but no one was ever charged. This lack of resolution gave rise to countless theories. Lorenz Schlittenbauer, a neighbor, became a key suspect. He had been romantically involved with Victoria and was rumored to be Joseph's father. Did jealousy or a dispute over paternity drive him to commit the crime? Or was he simply a concerned neighbor, as he claimed, when he led others to discover the bodies? Some believed a drifter or a homeless person seeking shelter on the farm may have been responsible. But why would they stay for days after the murders, tending to the animals? The most chilling theory involves the Grubers themselves. Andreas was rumored to have an incestuous relationship with Victoria, possibly resulting in Joseph's birth. Could this dark secret have led to the family's destruction, perhaps at the hands of someone seeking revenge? Victoria's husband, Carl Gabriel, was reportedly killed in World War I, but some villagers believed he had survived and returned, consumed by rage upon discovering his wife's rumored relationship with Andreas. Could he have been the shadow in the snow? Today, the Hinterkaifeck farm is no longer standing. It was demolished in the years following the murders, leaving behind only a memorial cross to mark the site of this tragic event. Yet, nearly 100 years later, the mystery continues to captivate and terrify those who hear it. Who was the killer? Was it someone the family knew, a trusted neighbor or a long-lost husband? Or was it a stranger, lurking in the shadows, watching from the woods? The Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of the greatest unsolved crimes in history, and the truth may never be known. What do you think happened at Hinterkaifeck? Was it a crime of passion, a calculated act of revenge, or something even darker? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. And if you enjoy unraveling mysteries like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more chilling tales. Thank you for watching Criminal Tracks.